I just spent $275 on this fragrance and I don't even know what it smells like. This little box is proof positive that social media advertising works. This fragrance is called Blood Spider Orchids by Régime de Fleurs. I loved the name, I loved the advertising, so I had to have it. I don't even know what it smells like. We're gonna do an unboxing today, and at the end I'm gonna give you my 2 cents. So let's get going. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you have seen our videos, welcome back. And if you haven't and you're a new viewer, welcome. All right, so before we get started, I wanna say, if you are a fan of fast-paced fragrance reviews and you are not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button down there. The algorithm really likes it when you do that. And that way you won't miss all of the fantastic reviews that I have set up for you. But let's get into it. So today we're going to do a special unboxing. This is a seasonal fragrance. I got to be honest with you, I saw the advertising, I saw the pool of blood that it was sitting in, I saw the name Blood Spider Orchids, and I knew this was going to be a great seasonal fragrance to do in October. It's still sealed. I haven't opened it up yet. I don't know what it smells like. So if you don't know that much about the house Régime de Fleurs, I don't either. I do have one other fragrance from this house. It's called Rock River Melody. It looks like this, and it's a fantastic fragrance. This house tends to do floral fragrances, but they do floral fragrances more as conceptual art rather than straightforward floral fragrances. If you think about a rose fragrance by Creed, you pretty much know what that's going to smell like. If you think about a tuberose fragrance by Creed, you sort of know what that's going to smell like. These are more artfully done. Most of their fragrances are going to be mass appealing. People are going to like them, but they're going to be just different enough to fit into that niche category. This one right here is called Blood Spider Orchids, and this one sold me on the pure drama of the name. In the advertisement, which I showed you a little bit earlier, you could see that the fragrance is dark red. It's sitting in a pool of blood. You've got blood in there, you've got spider in there, you've got orchids in there. So I'm thinking maybe that the base scent here is going to be orchids. It's going to have some sort of a mineral note with the blood. I'm thinking this is going to be maybe a little bit gothic, maybe a little bit dark, maybe that there's going to be like a dark, jammy rose type scent to this. I haven't even looked at the notes yet. So if you look at the brand's website and you specifically go to this fragrance, it says that it is a bit witchy, a bit vampy, a magnetic fragrance to go to when you're no longer afraid of the dark. Maybe it's going to be gothic, maybe it's going to be metallic, but a little bit unnerving at the same time. But anyway, I thought it would be a really interesting fragrance to unbox and get a first reaction on screen and let you all know what I think about it. So this is the image right here that sold me on this fragrance. It's deep crimson liquid, it's pouring around the bottle, it looks sort of like spilled blood, it's kind of cinematic, it's a little unsettling, and there's almost a vampire appeal to it. That's the way it looks on the advertisement, and I'm hoping for an equally as interesting fragrance inside the bottle. So let's open it up. All right, very minimalist box. Well, that I didn't see coming. The fragrance itself is actually clear. Not like it is on the advertisement. Okay, so this maybe changes things. This maybe changes what this fragrance is going to smell like. I know they're advertising it to be Blood Spider Orchids, and you see blood and spider in there. You think thematically it's going to be dark, it's going to be gothic, it's going to be something that's going to tell a story, but the orchids thing threw me a little bit, and I just looked up the ingredients on Fragrantica before I spray it, and a Blood Spider Orchid is actually a type of orchid. It looks like this. It's the exact same color of the blood that you see in the advertisement, and the shape of it actually looks like a spider, so that's why it's called a Blood Spider Orchid. So this is going to probably have an orchid note to it. I'm thinking maybe this is going to be a little bit more floral than I anticipated. But let's continue. Let's look down at the notes on Fragrantica and see what they say before we actually give it a spray onto my skin. All right, so the notes on Fragrantica are as follows. In the top, you've got smoked clove, cinnamon, and nutmeg. In the middle, you've got frankincense, Egyptian jasmine, and patchouli. And in the base, you've got Siamese benzoin, tonka absolute, and blood cedarwood. So there is no orchid anywhere to be found in this. The only floral note you're going to get in that entire lineup is the jasmine. I think I'm a little bit more confused even after seeing the notes breakdown than I was to begin with. These are very comforting, very cozy notes. If you think of nutmeg and clove and that sort of thing. All right. Let's give it a try. Let's see what it smells like out of the bottle. Oh, that is so much different than I thought it would be. The first thing I think of when I'm smelling this is spiced apple cider. You definitely get a feeling of mulling spices. You get sort of an apple in there. The clove, the cinnamon. Think of, you go into like a Williams-Sonoma and you get those packets that have the mulling spices for your cider. That's what I'm getting right off the top. This isn't scary. This isn't creepy. This is definitely cozy and warming. The apple here, I think, is somewhere between apple cider and a freshly baked apple pie. Think of like a first day of fall. You're walking by somebody's house. They're baking some apple pie, that sort of thing. I actually just did the 5 fall fragrances that I'm recommending for 2025, and I just got this after posting that video. I wish I had this beforehand because this is a very good fall fragrance. Fall, even into the winter, I would say this would work. So the name and the advertising for this are suggesting some sort of dark ritual, something bloody, something creepy, something gothic. So the advertising and the name here really lead you to believe this is going to be a dark fragrance. It's going to be cold. It's going to be gothic. It's going to be ritualistic even. But to be honest, what you're really getting here is a warm hug. This is a very cozy, very homey type smell, and that's only amplified the longer you wear it, because then you get the patchouli, you get a little bit of incense, and they do nothing but continue to warm it up. This smells amazing. This is not sweet. This is not a gourmand fragrance. It's very seasonal. I would say this is a perfect fall fragrance. Fall into winter. The floral note here is the jasmine. I gotta say, I don't really smell the jasmine. This does not lean floral at all. I looked online on Fragrantica and they say that this fragrance leans very feminine. I am going to have to disagree with them. I think that this is a very unisex fragrance. I think anybody can wear it. The jasmine here is only adding a glow around the other ingredients. It's not taking over. I wouldn't call this a floral fragrance at all. For something by a company called Régime de Fleurs, which really means the rule of flowers, this is not a floral fragrance. The mulling spices, those spices on the top, are definitely the stars here. Yeah, this fragrance stays very close to the skin. It's very inviting. This is a fragrance I would wear in cool weather. I would wear it in fall, as I said. I would wear it in winter. Think that first day that you wear that warm sweater in the fall. This is a relaxing, this is a cozy fragrance. This isn't theatrical in any way. I feel like that's exactly what Régime de Fleurs is trying to do. If you think that Creed's floral fragrances are too perfect, too simplistic, and you think that something at Toscavat may be a little bit too over the top if you're trying to smell a floral fragrance there, this is somewhere right in the middle. It's artistic, yet it's still completely wearable, and it's not over dramatic. It doesn't really change much. It's still very soft, very soothing. The apple is still there. The spices are still there. I feel like it's one of those fragrances that it would linger on your clothing. So if you did spray a bunch of sprays on your clothing in the morning, by the end of the day, you'd still feel those traces of that warm spice. But yeah, this surprised me, and it's really good. All right, it's time for me to give you my 2 cents on Régime de Fleurs Blood Spider Orchids. So Blood Spider Orchids promised me gothic darkness, but it actually gave me comfort, it gave me coziness, it gave me warmth instead, and I'm actually on board with this twist. This is proof positive that marketing can totally pull you into something, but the scent can still surprise you in the best possible way. To be honest, I would prefer a fragrance like this than what I was expecting. I expected something darker, I expected something a little bit more mysterious, I expected something maybe with a little bit more incense, something with a little bit heavier floral. This is completely unexpected, and I feel like I'll end up wearing this fragrance more than I would had I gotten the fragrance that I thought I was getting at the beginning. Yeah, so I really like this fragrance. I think that the balance of spice and warmth is extremely addictive. I keep going back to my hand to smell it, to see if it's still the same, and it's pretty linear the entire length of the wear. So far at this point, it's been about 40 minutes. For what it is, for the fact that it smells like mulling spices in cider, maybe a warm spiced apple pie, it doesn't smell like anything I have smelled before, and it was completely unexpected, and that's what I like the most about this. I think a lot of people going for a dark fragrance, that's why they tell you to make sure you smell it, make sure you wear it on your skin beforehand, are going to be disappointed with this because it's not exactly what they would have expected. But this is completely unisex, it does not lean feminine, and I think it's seasonally perfect. The thing for me that I don't understand is I don't understand the tie-in with the orchids. I think if you put blood and spider into the title of a fragrance, you're definitely going to get the interest, you're going to get the intrigue, but you're going to get a group of people that think that this is going to smell different than it does. So I don't know why it's tied specifically to that orchid. I know that the orchid looks like a spider, as I said. I know that it is blood red in color, but I don't understand why call this an orchid fragrance when there's no orchid to be found in any of the notes. The marketing here and the fragrance tell two completely different stories. This is a much more subtle fragrance, so if you're looking for a beast mode fragrance or a monster fragrance, that's not what you're going to get if you get this fragrance. So for me, I love how much the ad fooled me. It sold me this vampire fantasy with all of this blood, and what it gave me was comfort, it gave me coziness, it gave me warmth. And I think that contrast kind of makes it unique. If somebody were to smell this on me and smell the very warming, very soothing apple pie, cider, mulling spice vibes, and then they asked me what I was wearing, and I were to say, I'm wearing Blood Spider Orchids, it totally throws them off a little bit. But the bottom line is, do I recommend buying this? Yes. I don't think that this is one of those fragrances that's going to be for everyone, but nobody is going to find this offensive. There's nothing metallic, nothing mineral about this. There's nothing bloody about this. This isn't even a floral fragrance. This is a moderately sweet fragrance, but at the same time, it's perfectly seasonal for fall. If you're looking for a fall fragrance, tack this onto my 5 fall fragrances list, because I wish I had it for that video, because this is definitely a very, very good one to be wearing October, September, November, even into December. If you have tried Régime de Fleurs, let me know which other ones that you like. Like I said, I have Rock River Melody and I love it. I'm very intrigued to hear which other ones are your favorites. All right, so that was my 2 cents on Régime de Fleurs Blood Spider Orchids. If you know this fragrance or you like this fragrance, definitely give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know what you think about it, if you've worn it or if you've smelled it and decided not to buy it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and also don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because the algorithm really likes it when people subscribe, it likes it when people leave comments, and also give a thumbs up as well. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, that was my 2 cents. My name was Sean. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next video.